What up, dudes? Robby Rowe here. So wanted to do segments on popular questions, FAQs, I guess they're called. And this one particular one, I don't think I've done anything on. Actually, I have, but it's been the opposite fashion in regards to overload and underload balls and measuring velocity. So individual wants to know, why does he throw a 6-ounce baseball harder than a 5-ounce baseball? So 5-ounce regulation shot size. Is it 5 point something? It could be. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. But anyways, this right here is a 6-ounce baseball. I am partnered with Oat Specialties. This is where I get all my weighted baseballs and plyo balls. Discount code Robby10, ROBBY10. Case sensitive, so it's capital R. Anyways, so I've seen this actually a lot. I see it with myself. I don't see it with myself in terms of like my 6, 7, 8, 9-ounce harder or faster than my 5-ounce, but I do see some similarities in regards to like my 7-ounce harder than my 6-ounce and my 8-ounce harder than my 6-ounce, which is odd, right? You would think physics jumps in and says that doesn't make sense. But I will say, in regards to some of the things that I see from a biomechanics standpoint that really jump out to me, whoa, we're windy. I actually even encourage a lot of the clients that I work with from an analysis standpoint to start doing some weighted baseball stuff, because when we're looking at patterns, I see commonality across the board in regards to like 7, 8, 9-ounce overloaded baseballs or plyo balls actually are an extremely more efficient throwing mechanics than, say, a 5, 4, 3-ounce. All right, so the way that I look at it, I'm pretty nerdy when it comes to like the brain-body connection and the brain's responsibility to monitor threat. So if we look at it from that standpoint, anytime that the hand is overloaded, meaning like, over an object that is of heavy variety, the body is automatically going to find a way to sync up, to leverage the arm and take load and stress off of very vulnerable ligaments and joints and all that stuff to protect against the threat of blowing your arm out, right? It's why we don't really hear a whole lot of quarterbacks that throw a football. What is a football, like 11 ounces? 12? No, I don't know. 16? Whoa. Anyways, we don't hear a whole lot of quarterbacks having Tommy John surgery, right? So I think there's that standpoint in regards to a heavier object naturally allowing your body to sync up from a mechanical standpoint, which is totally kind of the opposite of equation that we see like in a weight room setting, right? The heavier you lift, the more susceptible you are to injuries. And I would actually argue that obviously this is, there's a certain limit, I would say, to how heavy of an object you can throw. But I would even argue that when you throw, like I said, 6, 7, 8, 9-ounce weighted baseballs, you probably look a lot more efficient from a throwing mechanic standpoint than you do when you throw a 5-ounce. So where does that leave you, person watching this, wondering what you should do? I would get with a professional, meaning like sign up for an analysis so we can actually gauge, what this mechanical difference looks like, if there's a major difference or if it's just a very minor difference. More often times than not, what you'll see clean up is the individual, when throwing a heavier object, 6, 7, 8, 9-ounce baseball, their body just naturally gets their hand up and inside 90 a lot more efficient than a 5-ounce. Again, 5-ounce is of a lighter variety, and I think we can get away with being in inefficient positions and still produce high power output. So with that being said, I do encourage a lot of individuals to screen yourself in that regard, right? Like, especially if we're already doing velo reads, like, hey, I have an 8-ounce throw of 90 and I have a 5-ounce throw of 91. What do we got? Well, maybe you just need a whole 2 to 3 weeks of throwing 8-ounce balls. Right? Like, see if your body can make that adjustment just via that input. Right? So you don't have to necessarily overhaul the thinking process of that mechanical adjustment. You can just create an environment via sensory input of a weighted baseball and throw that. I see this case common. I don't know so much about like the difference between a 6 and a 5. It's the same with like a 6, 5, 4. Again, we're looking at 1 ounce. Usually you see the big differences when we get up. Like for myself, like an 8 ounce, right? Like I do a lot of testings with 8 ounce balls, and for me, that's 3 ounce difference. You should probably see a difference of like 2 to 3 miles an hour. And for me, my 8 ounce is right up there, pretty close to my 5 ounce. And I think there's also the mental component of it too. With 5 ounce, you have expectations of throwing at a high power output. With like 6, 5, or 6, 7, 8, 9 ounce, there's really no sense of, requirement. You're kind of just like, all right, well, it's unknown. Let's see, what do we got? And then there's a little bit more freedom that comes about within that type of throw variation. I talk about freedom from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint a lot, and I think that also is included within this equation of throwing heavier balls that promote a lot more effortless freedom, which promotes just more efficient natural movement patterns and positionings and timing and all that stuff. But to summarize all this up, 6 ounce, 7 ounce, any overload balls, what I typically see, and people could have different opinions on this, but what I typically see is just the positioning and the timing of all of the moving parts are just naturally efficient. I think the body is so extremely like smart and adaptable to organizing itself in such a way to accomplish a task injury-free. And again, when we throw like 5, 4, 3 ounce balls, our body just gets away with being in vulnerable positions because the load is so light. So hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, I encourage you maybe to take it a step further and screen your mechanics, or allow me to screen your mechanics via an analysis, and we can really get down to the bottom of it and see what type of programming you need to carry that over. Because I know I'm currently in a process right now where I'm like, okay, maybe I just spend 2 weeks of throwing every throw that I make with 8, 9, 10 ounce balls and have those patterns carry over. But really good question. Hopefully that helps. I'm going to go ahead and throw the 6 ounce cheddar cheese up at the 11 there. Oh man, these sweats. Yeah! Don't throw with a whoop on. Don't do it. Jacks you all up. Discount code Robby10, case sensitive, ROBBY 10, capital R, if you want to get some weighted balls or some Plyo balls. Dope. Talk to you guys later.